shelling pistachios because I forgot to get the ones that weren't in shells. Awesome. So today I'm making blondies and brownies. And what's the difference? Well, chocolate is the difference. Obviously brownies have chocolate in, lots and lots of chocolate. I'm nearly done. That'll do, that'll do. Right, let's go on. So, starting with my brownies, I have put 250 grams of butter into my pan, and I've added, it is 275 grams of dark chocolate, but I've put a chocolate orange in there because I like chocolate orange, and then filled the rest up with dark chocolate. So you can do it either way. If you wanted to find like a cherry chocolate, or I know I'd leaving them alone. I'm not eating them while I'm shelling them. You can use a cherry chocolate. You could use maybe a mint chocolate if you really wanted to. I've never tried it. It could be interesting. But I like chocolate orange. So I've put it in there with the dark chocolate, and that is melting at the moment with a whole thing of butter, which looks like really crazy when you put in a whole thing of butter in a jug. This is much easier when I've got Mother here because I've got someone to talk to. I don't like it when you're quiet.
Right, you can talk to us. We'll talk back to you if you want.
Okay, that's fine.
We come on mute so we can interact with
you. You don't like chocolate orange, do you? So
you chocolate orange or chocolate and mint? No. Blech.
Really?
Chocolate and mint brownies are horrible. I made them because I really like chocolate and mint. I really do. After 8s all the way. But the brownies.
Again, it's not something I've ever made because it just doesn't appeal to me. Whereas chocolate orange or chocolate and cherry, like a Black Forest gatto-y type things, I thought that would be quite nice.
Chocolate and caramel. Chocolate and caramel. Or
yeah, you could do chocolate and caramel.
All of those, no problem at all.
Caramel brownies are nice.
No,
I like
no chocolate.
I like
who doesn't like a chocolate orange?
Hey,
Debbie.
I will literally.
Debbie.
If you put it under my nose, I'll smell it. I will vomit. Blech.
Because I could just eat it all of it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, if ever anyone sends you any, you can just post them to me, Debbie. I'm totally. I will help you. I will be that lovely, supportive friend. I'm there for you.
Right, that's it. So you'll get
like a full sweet shop change over here. You know, Parma violets go to Amanda. Anything, you know, Haribo, I'll have. I'm quite happy with that. All chocolate.
You can send it to me. That's fine. I'll have that as well.
So basically, you just melt in this until it is all gone.
I do like chocolate as well. You don't just have to send me Parma violets.
I know. I know.
Just to get that in there.
just thought I'd mention that in case anybody got the wrong impression.
So, do you want me to make one and then the other, or do you want me to make both at the same time?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
What do you normally do?
That's probably easier.
Just do one at a time.
Yeah, we'll do one at a time. Right, so while that is just finishing off melting, you will need, it is 175 grams of caster sugar. I like golden caster sugar because I like the smell of it. It smells like, what is it? Golden syrup. I like golden syrup. It smells like that. In there will go 3 eggs, and you can either use maple syrup or golden syrup, whichever one you like. I've got both, but I like golden syrup in mine. And you need 50 grams of that. I thought I'd start doing this because this takes me ages to get it out because I can't squeeze things. And I can't buy the tins because George thinks it tastes different, even though it's exactly the same.
You can't leave things like that upside down either because they just spill out of the cap, don't they?
Yeah.
Not good. We'll just watch you struggle. We'll just watch you struggle. You're doing a great job.
I can't grip things, so trying to squeeze things is quite difficult. So I have like pumps for my shampoo and soaps, and this wouldn't work on a pump.
No.
Well,
I just
well,
get mine in the big jar and then it gets sticky and sticks to the bottom of my cupboard and then I blame everyone else. That's all.
I bet there is something you could do with a pump with that, actually. You know, like the syrup that you add to coffee. They do those in coffee shops with a pump,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah, they're not as sticky as this though.
No. Okay.
They're more liquidy, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
really quite liquidy, the coffee.
Yeah,
ones.
that's.
You know what? Do you know what I think you should do, Kitty? Is you should just buy them in a jar, in a tin, and leave one in the cupboard so that George thinks that you're using them out of the.
Well, I can't get the lid off that. Otherwise, I would, because I was thinking, right, I'll just fill the thing up, but I can't. Oh, I'm just watching Amanda's face, like, oh dear God.
I'm just thinking I might just give George a clip round the ear hole and tell him to
Well,
stop
he
his filling.
really does need that.
He's not got long till he sees Auntie again and gets into trouble.
Every teenager need a clip around ear all at times.
Yeah, he's not a teenager yet.
No, he's 10.
Wait, you get to practice then.
Right, this is. Oh, it's because I turned it down. I was like, why is this taking so long? It's because I turned it down. Oh dear. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So in here, you'll need 3 eggs. And then you're going to mix it until it's all light and fluffy. All light and fluffy. You don't take eggs out like that. I've never done that before. That's weird.
Just because we're all watching you, we're
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh,
take your egg cracking technique.
I want to be able to do those where you can do the
Well, you can
one-handed egg cracking. I
do
can't
it
do it.
one-handed, but I'm not doing it one-handed today.
It always ends in disaster in our house.
Yeah. No, I do it to show off to George, but no, I'm not doing it today.
Aurora tried to do it and she literally just got the egg and went. And I was like, oh, she's only 5. She's fine. So, like, but yeah, she's like, watch, Mum, I can do it with one hand. And she's like, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. Thanks. Gorgeous. Yay.
Come on.
Make her make stuff in her own bowl.
See, I get really stressed out when he's cooking because he doesn't do it right.
I have this thing called a door and I just close it.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Just leave them to it. Eventually they'll work it out, won't they? You know, like they've got in here, they can clean up. Did it, you know, whatever. Just leave them to it. They'll work it out. Get food poisoning, they won't do it again. There you go.
That's one way of doing it, I suppose. Yeah, a bit of food poisoning.
Bit of autonomous learning. Nothing wrong with it.
So I'm thinking when we all meet up in summer, I'm going to bring some of these with me and then people can actually try them.
Ooh, not with chocolate orange though.
I'll make a different one.
I'll eat them for you, Debbie.
Okay, this is nearly melted.
You don't know what to eat? Oh, Kitty's making chocolate brownies. Do I see?
Oh,
Yeah.
she's coming. Here she is. Look at, hi Aurora.
Hi.
I think Mummy's going to make some of these with you later.
Well, no, Mummy's going to go to the pub later and she's going to drunk. So Jonathan's making you fajitas.
Oh, well, that's a good second choice.
Yeah, you see, there we go.
Right, I'm just going to let that, I've taken it off the heat now
Yeah.
and just letting it finish off melting. So while that's doing that, I'm just going to beat these eggs into the sugar. I've got a giant thing of tea bags down here, so I can move that quickly.
Is that your 600 bag, Kitty?
Is what?
Is that your 600 bag?
I split it with Mum, so now it's in a big tub. I don't want it to run out.
Is that what, for this week or the month?
That'll probably last a month. Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah. I've been good today. I've only had like 2 cups of tea. Yesterday I had like 5 by now. Right, I'm just going to put this on. It won't be a minute. Luckily, the next one I'm making is a lot quieter. So the idea is to beat this until it's light and fluffy. get told off for this because I do it all the wrong way round. You're supposed to now put this into the flour and that into, but it's much easier to put it all into the chocolate because that's already there. So that is all
Yeah,
nice.
it's less washing up this way, isn't it?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you don't want to end up with like 2 lots of chocolatey bowls.
No, because chocolate's a nightmare to wash up.
Well,
'Cause
and it's just a waste
for
of
everything.
chocolate. You want all the chocolate in the brownie, not washed down
That
the
is
sink.
true. That is true.
Although
Right, then, so I'm now going to add this to my brownie mix. Can we see all right here? I should have put this up something.
you can just about see. You're right.
Yeah, so off you go.
Now it changes to like a paler colour. Just want to mix that in until it's all incorporated. You don't want to add it too soon because you don't want it to cook the eggs. It's the problem with that's why you leave it on the side for a moment. So that is looking good. And then we add 100 grams of self-raising flour. And then you adjust.
Question.
Yes,
I've got a question about flour. Who here sifts their flour? It was a
I
thing. when
I do.
Everything was sifted, but now all the recipes say don't bother sifting. Does it really make a difference?
I've never ever in my entire life sieved anything because I have zero time or energy to put into it. And honestly, my cakes end up double the size of everyone that I know. So obviously it's a load of tosh. That's what
Mum and I make the same brownie recipe. I sift mine and she doesn't, and they taste completely different.
Really?
Yeah, same recipe. We do exactly the same apparently.
It aerates the flour,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it does.
so you're effectively adding oxygen to the mix, if you like, because you're separating all the clumps, and you used to have to do it to get rid of all the crud when flour wasn't milled very well. So I remember that as a little girl standing on my nana's kitchen doing the sifting and ending up with all the bits in the bottom of the sieve.
Yeah.
And I haven't sieved anything in about 40 years because I don't do baking.
Tony, you had a point of view.
Now I've got like a chocolatey goopy mess, so I'm going to go get my tin.
Tony, do you sift your flour? You were about to jump in with something.
If it says in the recipe that I follow to sieve it, then I do. If it doesn't, then I can't be bothered and don't. But Delia likes sifting, so I usually do Delia.
It, whether it says it or not. So I'm using a small roasting tin to do this. You can use I think it's a 20 centimetre square tin if you wanted to, but this is my brownie making pan. So I always use this one, and it is just a small roasting tin. So that's all going to go in there.
Someone once bought me one of those individual brownie silicone ones, which never gets used. It's in the back of my cupboard because what a pain in the backside that is as well.
Yeah, why would you want to do that?
I literally do nothing that like takes me too much time or energy. Like I'm like.
But then you're dictated on how much, how big a piece is. I mean, my sister makes this, my stepsister, and she'll cut this into like 24 pieces. And they're tiny. I mean, really, it's ridiculous. I'll cut it into maybe
4.
I'm not that bad. Maybe
9.
2. I'm dripping now. 12.
Why are you cutting it?
I'd have cut that into 9.
I wouldn't cut it, just grab a fork.
Well, yeah, there's that too. Kids make me share.
That's really nice. That's good. And then what I'm going to do is sprinkle white chocolate chunks. You can put walnuts in it. You can put other nuts or cherries or whatever you want. I like big chunks of white chocolate.
She likes big chunks and she cannot lie. Sorry, I couldn't help it. As you were, Kitty. Apologies. Sorry. I'll just rein my neck. I'll go on mute for a minute.
No, carry on.
Just sing the whole song to us, Debbie. We're fine with that.
I've not even got any alcohol today. You can't even blame that.
I never need it. I once in a car park met someone who we went out with, and he went, "Wow, you're just the same sober as you are drunk." I was like, "Well, the last few times you've met me, I've not been drinking. That might explain it." And he was like, "Oh, oh."
I just get louder
Love it.
when I'm drinking, like much louder. So I am just gonna sprinkle them on. And then this will go into the oven at 180 for 35 to 40 minutes.
Is that fan or not?
Hold on.
Fan or not? Fan or not?
Fan. Doesn't everybody have a fan oven now?
Yeah, you
I don't know.
For, you know, Sheena, who's got an Argo, who you never know. how-
I have both actually. I have a fan and a non-fan.
I've got both, but I never use my non-fan.
Yeah, I can turn the fan off my oven actually, to be fair.
Just everything cooks at the same temperature in my oven. Everything.
Usually I just put everything on at 200, but cakes I do at what they're supposed to be. So this now looks like that. So it's like a goopy, it still moves around with stuff floating in it. So I'll put that in the oven shortly.
Goopy with stuff floating in it.
Yes,
That is
that
very
is the technical term, gloopy with stuff floating in it. Woohoo! Okay,
And
so
I'm not wanting to eat them.
they taste really nice.
They
The
do.
I know you describe them like that so people don't want to eat them and you get them.
yes, no, and then I get more. Yeah, I'm not stupid. So obviously there's quite a lot of chocolate in that and sugar and there's loads, no calories. They're fine. No, it's perfectly fine. And probably slightly better to eat than what we're going to make now, which is Blondies. So this one, you need a big pan. I'm just going to put this back on. And 140 grams of butter that you're going to melt, along with 400 grams of light brown sugar. So basically it's just sugar. Look, lots and lots of sugar. Lots and lots of sugar. So I'm just going to melt that down so that it's like a gloopy mess. I do like a gloopy mess. Have a slip.
I've got a few little nuggets to include.
Like what? Oh, I have nuggets.
When I describe your foresight.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that crazy lady made some cake. That one, I'm really sorry.
No, you just made a gloopy mess to taste good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they do. What time are we on? Right, all the ones going in.
You just like neck your tea. Gone.
Okay, so we're just going to wait for this to melt down a little bit, which it does quite quickly. So I've got a metal pan, so I'm using a metal spoon. If you're using like a, whatever they're called, non-stick, oh dear me, it's going to be one of them days where I can't talk. Non-stick pans don't use metal on it, they don't like it, so use like a wooden spoon or a spatula. I like this mix because I literally just use my spoon for everything. Don't need anything else.
My fella tried to make chocolate brownies the other day, and he got stuck on the recipe and came to find me because it said use a metal spoon. He was like, "But why? Why?" I was like, "Oh no, as if that's what stuck you there."
Oh, bless him. I'm being bad. The recipe for this says to use light muscovado sugar. But I thought, well,
Oh, I really like it.
I do, but I only had one box, so I'm using the light brown sugar instead.
I use that on my carrots, my sweet carrots. Oh my God.
I put it in my bread. I put a little bit in my bread when I'm making bread. But for this, I mean, it's just sugar. It's to make it sweet and caramelizey tasting. So I don't think it really matters. And I like to fiddle with stuff. Oh, there's another one. Oh, dear me.
Getting them all written down, don't you worry.
Oh, random things.
We're not even at lunchtime yet, Kitty.
You are?
We're not even at lunchtime yet.
No. Oh, God. This is because I ordered a new fridge freezer, a big American style one, and that is being delivered today between 12:15 and 3:15, obviously, because awesome. And when he rang me yesterday to say what time they were coming and what steps do they have to get up and will it fit through the door, and I've realised that it won't.
Oh.
So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get it in my house. So I've been moving furniture around this morning. So that's why.
Big windows, Kitty.
You up?
You got big windows when we moved in.
I could if someone takes my window out, but I can't do that.
When we moved in, we've got big like fire escape windows upstairs, thankfully, so they open really wide. And Chris had to, on his own, because obviously I wasn't going to help with this, hoist a king size bed through the bedroom window 2 stories off the floor. It was amazing.
Well, I'm hoping they're going to be able to get it through the patio doors, but the patio doors don't open fully because somebody built a wall in the way. I love people. Right, so this is now kind of a gloopy mess. So I'm just going to let that melt a little bit more, and then we're going to add some stuff in.
Kitty, we just took the doors off ours when it arrived. It wouldn't get through the thing, and they managed to take the doors off.
Ooh, that might help then.
Stand there and look pathetic, and they generally come to some sort of conclusion of how to get it in.
I can do that very well.
They can't afford to leave it behind. We did the same when the fridge was delivered a couple of years ago, and the two guys stood there, and I said, well, this is the way into the kitchen, which Kitty, you come in, you turn left again, you go down a step, and they just sort of looked at me, and I went, or you find another way to bring it in. And, and just sort of stood there and did that dippy blonde thing, in the whole.
Would they not be easy to come through your conservatory and then through?
Well, by the time they'd worked out that they could go through the back gate, down the patio and in through the patio doors, I was practically sitting on my hands not to go, what is so difficult about trying to get this fridge through a pair of patio doors, you muppets? But I managed to resist.
Okay.
I can't imagine you ever trying to look dipsy.
It's a skill. It's a skill, Craig.
Oh, you'd be amazed at what women can do when they put their mind to it.
I do it all the time. I grew up on a farm, so we used to throw hay bales around, which hay bales are really heavy, right? They're really heavy. So delivery drivers all the time look at me, because I'm only 5'3", so they look at me and go, do you need help with that? And I'm like, yes, of course. But I'm actually thinking, I could lift what you're lifting right now and put it where I need it to.
Yeah. I moved my tumble dryer from upstairs downstairs, and then my dad was like, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm like, you just get on with it.
Yeah.
As again, women whose husbands work away or are deployed or whatever, you're not going to sit there for 6 months waiting for them to come home so you can move a bit of furniture. No.
It took 9 women to change a light bulb in my house at RAF Odium when the entire squadron had gone off to war for the first time, because the light bulb was halfway up a landing. You would go up a flight, then they'd have a turning landing, and they'd go up another flight to go upstairs. And so the light bulb was above the turning landing, about 20 feet up. And, it was somebody came, knocked on my door and said, is your husband here? And that's when I realised that nobody's husband was there. And she said, I can't even reach it on top of the ladder. So we got a few of the girls together, went and made a human pyramid, and she crawled up the back of the human pyramid and changed the light bulb, because we were not going to ask for help. Damn it.
No.
I take it you didn't do a risk assessment on that then?
Absolutely. Not.
Yeah, there's no risk assessment going on with that one. I agree. Right, we just need to let that cool for a minute because you don't want to then add eggs and they cook. Again, that's not what we need. So I'm just going to chop some apricots up. I've got 50 grams of apricots. I've got 50 grams of pistachios and around 50 grams of white chocolate. Because I like things a bit different. And then the one in the oven, that is I made one earlier, is just white chocolate and dark chocolate I've put in that one. And again, with the brownies that are in the oven, they are just chocolate. I did them plain dark chocolate, and then I've put white chocolate and sprinkled dark chocolatey bits over the top as well. So there's lots of variations you can do with these. Just depends what you like in your fillings. Hello, baby. What do you want? There's a puss cat. At least he's not brought me anything.
Yeah, that would be interesting to just add that to the mix. Can we have that in a blondie?
Proper cooking demo without a dead thing being brought in, Kitty.
I know. But
Worse when they're not dead. That's the worst.
Yeah, I've had a few of them.
few of those in the Christmas demo, not dead.
Every time Sheena Forsyth's cooking or making something, Boris, bless him, brings her a present, which is always amusing.
The thing is, if they bring you a present, you then change the demonstration to make it a pie.
No, because he brings me something, he tells me he's brought me something, and then I have to open the door and tell him he's a really good boy, and then he eats it. But I have to tell him he's a really good boy first.
Yes, the psychology is true to all cats. Aren't you clever? Well done, Boris. Now get out.
Boy. Yes, good boy.
At least they bring you dead stuff, not half alive stuff.
Oh no, they're alive.
Oh, lovely.
They're usually alive.
Rabbit was this week's Star Wars moment when he brought a half-dead baby rabbit in the middle of the Foresight.
Nice.
The worst thing a cat's ever brought me was at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was a wood pigeon, and all I could hear was this gadunk, 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 and I thought, what the heck is that noise? So I got up, and we had a cat flap from our cellar into the kitchen, and the cat had somehow dragged in this wood pigeon, and it had its head through one side and its body through the other, and it was just gadunk, 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 and it was still alive. It was horrible. There was just feathers and blood and alive. Oh, it was, yeah, no.
They're lovely. I don't know why we have them. He's now shouting at me because he wants to go out. Well, I'm chopping pistachios. So he come out.
From that moment, that was my last ever cat, and it was.
So I won't have a cat flap now because at my last house they would bring all sorts in. Frogs are fun because they scream, which is terrifying at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It is true. Cats have staff.
Yes, yes, they do.
This is why we have dogs.
Dogs do too, though. Like mine, like expects the door opening so she can go upstairs to her bed, which is like in the child's room. She's got like a whole setup, and they've set up a little tent and blankets and spare pillows. I'm like, oh, thanks. And they're like, oh, well, we use that box.
I'm back on. This is now looking like a, looks like that. So I'm gonna have some eggs, but I'm gonna do one at a time. So put one in, mix it round, and let it. So I don't want it to all separate and split. I want it to incorporate the eggs without cooking them. It's really hot.
You're really hot.
You see the steam coming off it. Well, you can't see the steam, but it ends up being like a.
I can see the steam actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a caramel more now because it's got a bit of liquid in.
Always take your scarf off if you're too warm. Take your scarf off if you're too warm. Oh, I thought you said you were too hot.
No, this was still warm.
Ah.
No, I've been warm all morning because I've been moving furniture. I moved the piano this morning. I'm going to get told off later.
Please, don't move a piano.
Yeah, well, I'm not supposed to be doing stuff like that.
Pianos are really heavy. How can you move a piano?
They have wheels.
Because I'm stupid.
They're still heavy.
Yeah.
Really heavy.
Last time I moved a
Very heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy. I'm gonna have a nap later, it'll be fine.
What I don't like about moving pianos isn't the heaviness. It's the having to retune them afterwards.
Oh no, well it needs retuning, and apparently I've broken it. He's very annoyed because one of the black keys has just come off. So I don't know what I've done to it. So now I've incorporated the 3 eggs, so it's now well glutened. Well glutened. And to that we're gonna add 300 grams of plain flour plus a teaspoon of baking powder. And then again, it just says to incorporate it, don't overbeat it, which is why I'm just going to try and fold it in a bit instead of using the mixer. But you want to make sure all the flour is incorporated because you don't want to have lumps of flour. It's not good. Nobody wants to be chewing on a lump of flour. This takes a minute.
What I don't get is how you're not covered in flour right now.
Well, she doesn't have a 5-year-old.
Well, yeah, that's fair point.
I'm bad. I forgot to put my apron on.
Is it a homemade apron by Kitty Cairns?
No, it's not, but it is on brand.
Because whenever I bake, my hair, my clothes, every area of my house has flour in it. The steps, it gets upstairs. Somehow flour gets upstairs. I think the kids walk in it when they've dropped it all over the floor, and then they just scrapes it up the stairs.
Flour is flammable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Which is quite scary.
That's probably why you can set pasta on fire, isn't it?
Yeah. So now it's like a pale golden mix, which is it smells amazing.
That looks amazing, actually. I can just imagine.
What I'm going to do now is add my pistachios and my apricots and just mix them in.
I'm wondering how Amanda feels about this. Are you down with the pistachio and apricot mix, or is that not a good mix for you?
She's on mute.
On mute.
Yeah, I love and I like nuts. So
Just when I made courgette and apricot thingies, you were like, whoa.
that's because you mixed sweet and savoury, and that's against the law.
I make courgette cake, and that tastes like chocolate, and that's lovely.
Yeah, you
Same
would
with
have slapped
pumpkin.
yourself.
So I'm just going to chop up a bit of white chocolate as well to pop in.
I like making pear and rose upside down cake instead of pineapple upside down cake. I love pineapple upside down cake as well.
I do not like pineapple at all.
I eat pineapple all day long, everywhere. Just love it. But yeah, my kids aren't as keen on it in pineapple upside down cake, so I make pear and rose instead. It's very nice.
I'm making apple, bacon, and maple syrup scones in the Thermomix this weekend.
That sounds amazing.
That does sound amazing. Oh, so that was a question I had for people. So Christine will be able to answer this. If you putting flour into your Thermomix for a recipe, should that be sifted first, or does the Thermomix?
I've never sieved flour in the Thermomix.
No, it mixes it so fast that you don't need to.
It's not necessary, isn't it? And I've done those scones, Sheena. They're lovely.
Awesome.
Apple, maple syrup, and bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to look them up. Hang on a minute. Add them to my menu.
Debbie, I forgot to say you can search by collections, so you can put the basic book and see what everything is in it.
Yeah, okay. Found them. Apple, maple syrup, and bacon.
Add.
Oh, and upside down pear and ginger cake is absolutely delicious.
That sounds nice as well. So now we've got a lumpy mix. Just going to get this.
Funky.
Again, just I think it's a 9-inch, but 20 centimetre square dish. So this is more of a caramel flavour to it than like a brownie, obviously because it's a whiter mix. I don't know what you call it.
That sounds like my perfect baked good with carameliness. I want some. You gonna post it to me?
Maybe. Depends. I might eat it all.
You do have 2 lots. You have got 4 trays of brownies there, Kitty. Come on, share. Look at her face. Kitty does not share.
Kitty doesn't share food. This one goes in the oven for 25 minutes or until just firm. That's it. Nice and simple.
Now the Blue Peter moment.
Blue Peter moment. That is my chocolate brownie with white chocolates on top. It's still wobbly, but as it cools, so it'll be wobbly inside, it means it's not still moist, which is what you want, because brownies should have a squishy middle. It's what you should have. Right, that one still needs a minute, so I'm going to put the other one in.
Didn't we all? Having a squishy middle.
Squishy middle!
I'm just going to embrace squishy middles. It's fine.
Yeah. Think like a brownie.
And there we go. Brownies on Blondies.
Awesome.
Oh, that's amazing, Kitty. Thank you.
Looks amazing. Shame we can't taste it.
Don't you wish we had smelly vision at this point?
Yeah.
I'll take it out yet because it's too it needs to cool for a moment.
Well, remember, Kitty has promised that she's going to bring some when we meet in person in Sheena's garden. So
yeah. I'll bring a bit of everything. Yeah. Obviously make new ones for that because they won't last that long.
I know we've all been chatting away, but does anyone have any questions for Kitty?
Sorry, Kitty, can you just remind me on the brownies how much butter is used?
It's 250 grams.
Thank you.
So it's a full block. I'll send the recipes to Amanda so she can see.
Oh, steady on.
So it does seem like a lot of butter, but it
just needs it.
It's what it needs. So yes, there's nothing good about these at all. They are. You're on a diet. These are not for you.
Brilliant.
And how long will those 2 trays of brownies last, Kitty?
If I'm eating them just me, they'll probably last a week or 2. But I'm going to share them with my mum and maybe my sister if she's nice, and my other sister if she's nice. So I don't know. Probably less than a week, maybe the weekend. I don't know. I'm supposed to be at a book club tomorrow, so I might take them there.
An in-person book club?
Yes, there's 6 of us. There's technically 8 of us, so we're meeting in a garden. Yeah, there's no book involved.
I've got my book club tomorrow too, but on Zoom.
Do you read at your book club?
Kitty? Yes.
We don't read at our book club.
Oh, my friend used to go to one of those for the wine, and she only read the beginning and the end of the book so that she could have the wine.
There's
yes,
no
we
book
read.
at all. We don't call it book club. So yeah, that's it. If you've got any questions, I'll give the recipes to Amanda.
Brilliant.
And it'll have the variations on it as well of what you can put in and what you can do. But yeah, that's it. All done.
Fantastic. Let's give Kitty.
Sorry.